All right,
All
folks,
right.
welcome back to another episode. I wanted to welcome back my next guest. He's an amazing East Coast MC and a member of the legendary Arsonist crew who first hit the scene in the 1990s and a super dope photographer. He and his crew, the Arsonists, they recorded their certified rap classic and Billboard charting album As the World Burns in 99. And after that, it went on to continue to set the music scene on fire. I wanted to welcome back my man, Jise One. Thank you for making time to chat with me. How have you been?
Yes, yes. Jise One, definitely. I've been good. I've been really good. I cannot complain.
Yeah, hey
My,
man.
everybody healthy. So yeah, I'm great.
Good man. Yeah, hey,
Yeah.
thanks for bearing with me and making it an early morning to make this happen. I see you got your coffee. I got my caffeine. So whew, I feel you. Maybe we should have made it a little later,
Oh,
but it's good. You know.
no, no. I think there's advantages to doing it early though. You get that fresh, that fresh start. So it's cool.
Oh, that's true, man.
Plus,
Yeah. I really had a blast during the first interview, and thanks again for doing the second one. I know you wanted to talk about your Passion of Jise record, man. So what an
yeah,
amazing
yeah.
album!
Yeah,
Yeah,
we didn't really we didn't touch too much on it, but we kind of like kept it general. But yeah, Passion of Jise, that's a
yeah,
project that I worked on that is I feel really I feel really like connected to it, you know what I mean? So it
yeah.
has a lot of like my personal touches in it, my
Mm.
small circle of people, everybody like had a hand in it.
Oh
Like at
wow.
least, people that I'm really tight with, or like I had like good chemistry with. Yeah, like my wife was involved. My,
Oh
some
man.
arsonists, my arsonist brothers were involved. You know what I
Okay.
mean? I had Ill Bill on it, which is
Yeah,
one of my favorite MCs. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
yeah, I had a lot of people that were like, at that time was just like, ID for Creative Juices. It was a project that came out of nowhere, basically. You know what I'm
okay.
saying? I was, I got with Creative Juices Music to release my solo stuff, and we had released the Chronicles 2
Yep.
album, and we wanted a third album, and we wanted like a
Mm.
album that like Chronicles 2 was put together like a mixtape,
Okay.
and we wanted to put another album up after that. So we were
Yeah.
recording. We were like on some Tupac, let's record
Yeah.
as many songs as possible.
Yeah.
And I had a whole structure of a whole other album aside from the Passion. Before the Passion was even thought of, we had this
Yeah.
whole album set out. And it just had like this collection of tracks. It had like collabos. It had some
Yeah.
real like killer like stuff, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
rhymes, and it was, gritty and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, uh, the track board that we were working on, we had like a internal like storage on it, and
Oh no.
we lost all those tracks. Me and
Oh man.
yeah, yeah, me and ID, we lost like most of our Creative Juices music that we were recording at that moment in time, and so we couldn't recover any of it.
Oh
And
no.
so I was just like, oh man. And we already had like dates in mind and stuff like that. So it was just like, uh, I really didn't know what to do, you know what I'm saying? Because I was really never one of those dudes who could like just muster up an album just to muster up an album. I feel really connected to my writing, and like
Yeah.
my writing, I take it seriously. Like I'm not like hey, drop a 16 there. I was just never really into that. And if
Yeah.
I dropped a 16, it had to be like something of substance
Calculated.
to it. Yeah, yeah, it had to be calculated. So I was just like, and people were telling me, hey, when you suffer, you create your best music. And I was suffering because I was just like, I was really like, I was hurt that we lost that stuff.
Oh, dude, I would have been
Yeah.
so unmotivated after that. So I
Yeah,
feel,
I was exactly, that's the word. I was like really unmotivated, and I was just
yeah,
like, man. And I mean, just to be honest, like at that moment in time, I was still adjusting to be, I know I put solo stuff out, but I was still
Yeah.
adjusting to being a solo artist, and back in the day, stuff like that would happen. And I had like a whole team,
Okay.
of other MCs that, you know what I mean, that,
Yeah.
I had a backup, but this, it was just like, it was
Yeah.
me and ID and
Okay.
Alucard, you know what I mean? And it was just like, man, and it was a Jise album. So it was just
Yeah.
like, man,
And this
what am I
was
gonna do?
it was in 2015. Was that right? That was like
Yeah,
what
yeah,
I'm
it
tracking.
was around, yeah, well, that album was done by like 2013,
Okay.
14. Yeah, that album was done, and because it was some of the leftover recordings we had from the Chronicles too as well. So
Oh
that was
man.
like, I had so much stuff, and
Yeah.
so I actually contemplated like not even putting another album out.
Ooh.
I was just like, yeah, I was just like, yeah, do I really want to do that? Because I was already looking at the music thing, like not the music itself, but I was
Yeah.
just like, man, do I really want to like go through all this and go and that album consisted of many, many, many producers
Yeah.
and different collabos. It was strenuous, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It was
Of
just like,
course.
it was a pain in the butt to like files and send files back and forth. Now I gotta contact all these other producers
Yeah.
again and be like, hey, we lost the music, blah blah. So it was just like I was at a real low point, and I ended up like I don't know, like a few months after I started like going through my closet and stuff, and I seen like I found a notebook and I remembered I had something scribbled in it, and I was just like, wow. I found like two different poems that I
Okay.
wrote like from way, way back from my, like I used to write these dream journals when I was a little younger.
Okay.
And what I used to do is like, I used to, I had trouble sleeping. I had a lot of nightmares and stuff. So when I wake up from those nightmares, I would like have a notebook and scribble down,
Oh wow.
just jot down whatever I remembered from the dream, even if it's just like a few words, like something descriptive.
Yeah.
I would jot it down, and I came across one of those notebooks, and I had like an aha moment. And then I started looking through all like different pages and stuff, and I seen a pattern, I seen like a story,
Yeah.
and I was just like, oh shoot, you know what I mean? So I took like I remember the first one I took one of the poems. I was like, I think I could turn this into something, the poem,
Oh
and that was the beginning. So it was like little sketches and little poems, and I was just
wow.
like, oh. And I started finding more, and I took a bunch of poems and I started reworking those poems, and that became what the passion of Jise is, like
Oh
the
wow.
foundation of it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like the character that I
Yeah.
see, that I would see in my dreams, I made that into the character of the album. And
Dude.
a
Is
lot of
that
it didn't
the
make sense.
yeah, well, is that the Mr. Sunshine who you referenced throughout the album?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. So
Because
Mr.
I was like, I wonder who
Sunshine,
this
yeah.
guy is. And so yeah, you talked about him a lot during the album.
Yeah, yeah, and I realized that a lot of that character was me.
That
You know what
okay,
I'm
so
saying?
that's what I was gonna ask you. Was that a metaphorical version of you? And so yeah, you just answered that question.
Yeah,
Yeah.
now I look at it that way, but when I was making it, I was just
Yeah.
like, wait, because when you dream, you have, it's basically you. You're in your
Yeah.
head. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
Good point.
yeah. So that character, like when I finished that album, like when it was finally completed and all together.
Yeah.
I look back on it and I was just like, yeah, a lot of people aren't gonna understand this
Yeah.
because it's from my head. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
this is like deep stuff. So,
Yeah.
but when I was forming that album, one of the biggest challenges was transforming that the visual and the music into something physical in the conscious world. So it
Yeah.
was just like, because you can never really, like, a lot of your dreams you forget or you
Yeah.
don't
I know.
understand them. So it was hard. I had to find a vulnerable spot
Yeah.
where I could actually
Yeah.
let people in on
Dude.
that personal side.
I mean, there was
So
some touchy topics on there, and I'll go through it when we go through the song. But there was some that
yeah,
I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Who is he talking about?" And I'll ask you as we go through the interview. But yeah, I thought it was. Yeah, you're right,
Mhm.
man. It's a very emotional album, and that you really opened up yourself for this project because it's not typical. I don't want to say typical, but it wasn't what I was used to at first, right? I'm used to like the boom bap, rip your head off, Jise
Yeah,
One, and so this was a
yeah.
good take on just the versatility of your style. I thought it was great.
Yeah, that was a weird part of it because
Yeah.
I've really never done that, and I knew that that a lot of like, people that were fans of me as far as part of the Arsonists, or even just
Mhm.
like my first solo stuff, were gonna be like, why is he doing this? And that's cool because
Yeah.
at that point I was already like at the point where I was just like, well, um whoever listens to it, this is for whoever has that ear, whoever like
Yeah.
has that clarity to even hear it. If they don't, I don't hold that against them. It's fine. It's not, it doesn't make me feel away, but
Yeah.
it had to be a vulnerable spot in order to anybody who was involved in it was like, all right,
Yeah.
like I had to be, those people were like chosen,
Yeah.
and I let those people in, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And my wife, she was a big part of like the visual part of it
Yeah.
because yeah,
It
even
was a
even inadvertently, like she came up with like the main, like, like the vision of the hand and the
yeah.
bullet hole in it, and that became like my main, like, you know, I was just like, it was perfect. It was she
Yeah.
came in the clutch.
Who came up with the cover for the album of the guy? It looked like he was standing in the middle of traffic in the blurred lights on the side of cars passing
Yeah.
by. Who?
Yeah, well, one of those visions was from my one a dream of mine,
Yeah.
minus the car,
Okay.
the car lights. That
Yep.
was Kenneth Schumacher of Time Bomb Pictures, who
Okay.
was working with a lot of creative juices. He was there a lot of the sessions.
Yeah.
Incredible artist. He did one of the videos for Fall, for that album. You know what I'm saying? He helped me
Yeah.
shoot that video and edit it. Yeah, but the vision with the cardboard, that's like me from a vision I had. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
man.
It
Yeah.
didn't say the Passion of Jise per se, because I don't remember what the cardboard said.
Yeah.
But I made, my wife and we still have, like, I still have the photos, the first photos, the drafts of that
Dude,
vision.
are you kidding? That's
Yeah,
dope.
yeah. The text that we, me and my wife, she helped me do the cardboard, and like we took like a picture of me holding the cardboard. It looks crazy compared to the finished, product.
Yeah.
But when I gave that vision, my wife and I gave that vision to Kenneth. He took it and he was just like, "Dude, you know what? It'd be sick." And then I was just like, I explained to him that I wanted like a sketchy look because when, in
Yeah.
those dreams, I would see very sketchy, and I would think that I see in color, but it's not really color. It'd be
Yeah.
like a, dark hue.
Yeah.
But he kind of like, I don't know, man, he's a sick dude. He got it. He
Yeah.
got it. And he sent me, I mean, this guy, I mean, he was just getting on my nerves. He sent me like a million drafts, which is dope. I mean,
Yeah.
I haven't met an artist that would do that. He was just like, and there would be like one little thing, like, yeah, look at the hair, it's different on this one. And I'm like, come on, bro.
He wanted to get it right. That's awesome. Get
Yeah,
it right.
yeah. So that, me and my wife, we worked on that main visual, and then my wife shot a picture of my hand. She had her that the visual of the hand is on the CD with the bullet hole.
Oh wow.
She shot a picture, she shot a photo of the hand without all that artwork, without the bullet hole or whatever.
Yeah.
That's her photo. She had a bunch of shots of that, and that was just the one that
Wow.
fit my vision. It just fell into place. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It fell into place, and then I came up with the whole
Yeah.
the passion, and it's not nails, it's a bullet hole. So, you know what I mean? So I wanted
Yeah.
to have that, like, it's like an analogy depicting sacrifice and, everything I put into the music. So it was just like one of
Uh,
those things.
yeah,
So
that's a good yeah, explanation because when you hear the title, I thought of the Passion of Christ, right?
yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah, so that's
yeah.
cool. Yeah, so I
So
like
it
how it
has,
rhymes and
yeah, it has a bunch of meanings. Like you can it has a bunch of meanings connected to it, and yeah, at first glance people would be like, "Oh, wow, that's like a, it's like a religious kind of like thing," but and it
no,
has a lot of those undertones in it. You know what I'm saying? Because
mm,
I believe that the story of Christ is it's a dramatic story, and
yeah,
it's an ill story. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? When you strip everything away, the religious ideology part of it out, and just imagine a man that goes through that, and it's crazy.
yeah,
It's like it's sick, and it kind of like reflects a lot of everyday life, sacrifice, and what we go through, and
yeah,
the temptations we go through, and all the hardships we go through as humans in the flesh. So
yeah.
uh yeah, that's kind of like what it formed into throughout the process. I let it roll. I didn't have these ideas when I was forming the album, but it just turned out that way, honestly.
Did Creative Juice's music? Did they have a studio of their own, or were you doing some home recording? How did you put this project together?
Yeah, well, when I met CJM, it was a la carte and ID, and ID was recording like the mic was next to his stove in the kitchen. You know what I mean?
Oh,
But by the
that's
time we got to the Passion of Jise, a few years later, we already had like a Creative Juices studio in play.
nice.
So it was like a whole studio. It's still there. We
Oh,
still have it. Like
that's awesome, man.
if I need to record, I can actually just go and record. But yeah, it's still there, and fortunately, a lot of the tracks were done there. Some of them were done in his house. It was by chance,
Yeah.
and specifically the tracks that were done by Q Unique, that produced by Q Unique.
Yep.
I actually recorded those with Q in his studio
Oh, that's awesome.
because
Yeah.
and Q is one of those dudes that like, wow, we went to Arsonists. I don't know, I just feel like he was one of those artists and one of those friends that just got me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As an artist, he kind of like understood me, and he was a big advocate, like a big, Jice. Yeah, Jice is
Yeah.
it. You know what I
He
mean?
reps you. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So he was,
Love that.
he was just like when I came to him with the idea, it was challenging, not in a bad way for me, but I had to like make myself vulnerable to the point where, because we had been in a group together
Yeah.
and we already went our separate ways as solo artists. And I don't know. I felt like, oh, I don't know how he's gonna receive this. I don't know where I'm coming to him and asking because I'm not one that would, go to Q and start asking him for, to
Yeah.
help me out with things. You know what I
Sure.
mean? So we were friends and stuff, but like, it was never a relationship where I would ask him,
Right. Yeah.
musically, like, hey, I
Hey.
need some help with this.
Yeah.
But when I presented the idea to him, I mean, I could barely finish the sentence before, he
Damn.
was just like, I
That is
got you.
love, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then,
Yeah.
I kind of had an idea. It became that was the most challenging part is getting to ask him. But like after I asked him and I told him the ideas, it was like
He's
it
like, he
was
got you, huh?
flawless. He got it. He even like, he's one of those artists that you go to. He's a producer's producer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he don't just make the beat. Like he
Oh, he like
has
tailors it, huh?
he tailors it, and like I gave him the vision for those songs, you know what I'm saying? And he really like took the time out of each song and was just like, all right, this is what you want, this is what I see, What do you
Tell
see?
me,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Yeah. And he was just like, okay, I get it. And you know what else I see? And he got way more involved than I thought he wanted to get
dude,
involved. You know what I'm saying? Like he
super
did the
dope.
backup vocals
Yeah,
for those songs, you know what I'm saying? He
man.
helped with the hook and he helped shape those songs and he brought those songs, those visions, he brought them to light. Like he really like brought out what I had in mind, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And that was incredible. Like to this day, I'm grateful for like what Q did for that album. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? And
Oh man,
yeah,
what a great friend.
yeah, and he got so into it. He was just like, "Yo, I'll mix it and master for you." I was just like, "Yo, that's not what I asked you for." But like, and
Yeah,
he was like, "Yeah, yeah, I like what you're doing." I was like,
yeah,
"I think this is a great like this is a great album." So
yeah. Just to think about, the bond that you guys built over all the albums as the Arsonist crew, and then everybody,
yeah,
does some adulting. You guys go your own ways, and then you come back, and it's just like it was day one. So
yeah,
I love hearing
yeah,
stories like that.
yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely, man. And we never really worked to that capacity. Like
yeah,
we've done tons of tracks. We performed, we traveled,
yeah.
but we've never done anything, like we've been deep
Super
because we've been
personal like that.
brothers, but like that personal to that point where I was just like, I'm taking a risk, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
he understood that. He was just like, that's what it's about. He was just like, we take risks as artists. So
yeah,
I was just like, all right, cool. And that happened with everyone, even the tracks that ID produced, he did an
yeah,
interlude and he did I think he did it, ID produced one of the tracks where I was
yeah.
really vulnerable to like because I didn't know how ID would accept that concept. And that song I did from the perspective of a mom. So that was different for me. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And that was just like, all right, this is difficult. Like I don't know like how he's gonna receive this because I've always just been boom bapish and like really,
Right.
abstract. But I'm speaking from a perspective of a single mom who's raising this kid and she's kind of
Yep.
like fed up with it. The kid is a pain in the ass. And I was just like, I'm gonna be speaking from that perspective so when when I brought that concept up to the ID, he didn't get it until I started spitting the verse to him, and he was just like, "Oh," he's just like, "Oh, wow," you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
that session was one of the great sessions as well because I think our relationship grew from that session
Yeah.
because he kind of like he got it too. He immediately got it. He was
Was
just like,
that the
"This is
Mommy
dope."
Sunshine song?
Yeah, it was the mommy
Dude.
sunshine.
So
Yeah.
yeah, and so that song too was like, and so those were one of the songs I was like, damn, dude, like who's he talking about? The lyrics, right? My son, I gave you life, I had to leave with none. Don't poke your fist
Yeah.
out, my rules. You don't like them,
Yeah.
leave. That's one less mouth to feed, just like your dad, huh? I was like, dude, I could just feel like the emotion behind the story. And so, man, yeah, that was one of the
Yeah.
songs. I was like, "Ooh, man,
Yeah. And then, recording that was like, I still, I have footage from that session and it was like,
whoa,
and
shoot.
ID was one of those dudes that, ID had me in that session. He was just like, do it over. Like he was going in. He made me do that like a lot of times. And it was just like I
Yeah.
appreciate that. Like him and Q, like two of those dudes, like they're really producers. Like he's the same way. He's just
Okay.
like I've been fortunate enough to like know people that are like that. You know what I mean? And he was just like, nah,
Yeah.
you have to do it again. You need to give him more. He was just like, you need to give him more. You need to put yourself in
Yeah.
those shoes.
And I like that honesty because yeah, I mean, as an MC when you record a verse, hey, sometimes like the way you say it, it's gotta be perfect. And like when you didn't say it right, yeah, it sounds like they got
Conviction.
character. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
that's right. So
he can,
that's
I
cool.
remember him telling me that. He's just like, yeah, you gotta like spit this one with conviction.
Yeah.
And I thought it was weird because it's from I didn't
I'm
think of it
I'm
as a
recording it.
woman's perspective.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I know, but yeah, it's great. They sound like I heard Dr. Dre does that a lot too. But
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. So that's cool.
He does. And I actually, as a MC or as an artist, where, it's good to be students. And I'm glad that you brought
Yeah,
that up because I had to like when I thought of that, like, and I started writing that, I had to like study and go back and see, visit a lot of MCs work. They would like
mm,
do that. There's a lot of MCs out there that would put themselves in and speak from perspective. You know what I mean? Your Dr. Dre's, even your
yeah,
Eminems would do that. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And I'm like, oh wow, like, and I realized that that's not an easy craft.
No,
You know what I mean? Like I was just like, all right, this is new territory for me. Like,
yeah,
because it's easier to just spit bars and come from a competitive side, but to like
yeah,
drive something from perspective is different. And it's not
yeah.
your perspective. You need to like place yourself in a from a different perspective
Sure.
and then write that down. So that definitely, yeah, that was challenging, but ID made it he made it easier for me. Like he was just like, yeah, this is what you gotta do. This is what you should do this or place this there and or
Yeah,
that sounds like this. You have to give it some oomph. So
yeah.
I mean,
And it's
there's a lot of
impactful, right? Yeah, we were
yeah,
talking
yeah,
about it right now, so we're like, yeah,
yeah, yeah,
that was
yeah.
something.
Because when I listened back, I was just like.
You
I
remember
didn't
it.
know how, yeah, I didn't know how to feel about it. This wasn't one of those albums where I listened back and I was like, yo, this shit is dope. Like I have no judgment of it. Like it just is what it is.
Yeah.
And I felt weird when people would like talk to me about this album, you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
of that, And so if somebody like, yo, I love this joint, and I'm just like, oh, thanks. But it would still be awkward inside, like, oh yeah, I didn't like really make it to be dope. I really
Yeah.
didn't know why I made it. I just wanted to share it.
Yeah.
So it was just like it wasn't one of those albums where I was like going for the accolade or the, like,
Yeah.
yo, you really did your thing on this. It was just like something that I felt like I needed to share. And
Wow.
yeah, I put a
What a
lot of
project.
yeah, yeah, it's a weird project like that. It was just like one of those things, and yeah, everybody just came through, and at first I wasn't even gonna have like features on it or anything. I didn't
Okay.
see the need for it, you know what I mean? But any feature that I have in there, like, I have my cousin Low Key Velez on there, which I think Daddy's Little Girl, he does the verse
Yep.
on Daddy's Little Girl. And I mean,
And
he
whose verse was that? Married to the pain you can't divorce. That,
yeah, yeah,
uh,
that's my cousin Low Key Velez.
yeah. So yeah, that's what I
And
thought. Yeah, he killed that
eh,
man.
yeah, and I mean, shit, man. Like I mean, he nailed it. Like my vision, like he nailed it. Like I could have just left his verse honestly, and just to recreate my vision for what I was trying to get to on that
Dude.
song. And he said it all. You know what I'm saying? It was
His
just
verse
like,
was I mean the song was dope, but he did
yeah.
something in his verse where he goes you really need to reemerge, reinvent, hit reverse, be reset, rediscover your love for the world and reconnect, be reintroduced, re-examine it, recreate, recapture what you had in the past, recapitulate. I was like,
It's like,
dude, I was like, why not I was thinking that? I was
and
like,
then he sounds
dude,
so like it was honestly it was flawless. Like
yeah, it was
when he
on
recorded
point.
it was just like he had like this whole like he's always been like this,
Yeah,
and he has this whole like aura about him, and
yeah.
what he did on that verse is just how he carries himself. He's really like laid back, and he went in there. He's just like, ah, I think I could do it again. Like, you know what I mean? I was just like, no, man. I was just like, stop.
So did he rap in the New York scene or did he just do it for fun? Was he like
Yeah,
you?
yeah, yeah. He he's my younger cousin, and
Okay. He's super
yeah,
dope.
yeah, and he used to come around to the Arsonist sessions. Like the
Okay.
Arsonist members know him, you know what I mean? He even
Yeah.
like did like two shows with us like on
Dope.
tour. But and he had his own thing going. He had a solo, I think he like at one point he wrote for like Salt from Salt and Pepper. You
Wow.
know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like he's a great writer, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah, indeed.
yeah, and then he became part of this band called The Last Broadcast.
Okay.
So a live
Okay.
band. So they used to just like, do live shows. Like that was his thing.
I see.
Like yeah, he was one of those dudes at one point, like him and his band were like out in the streets of New York, like a full band in the
Yeah.
streets. Just like, and he'd just be like,
Dude, he's
go, yeah, like nonstop. Like never
yeah.
lose his voice or anything. He's incredible.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
really
If I had to judge him based on that verse alone, I'll say
yeah, yeah, yeah.
that was
And I was
amazing.
like, yeah, yeah, he's a he just totally took that to a whole psychoanalytical
Yeah.
level, that song. And that song was really important as well. And again, that's one of those dudes when I approached him,
Yeah.
he got it. He just got it automatically. He was just like,
Yeah.
ah, he's like, yes, I want to do this. I was just like, great, let's do
Yeah.
it. You
Yeah.
know,
I
so
mean, that was some really good storytelling by the both of you, and it seemed
yeah,
like it was a track about advice to those who've been wrong, maybe specifically to a girl. I
yeah,
thought,
yeah.
but
We have another joint that we put out together. I'll send it to you after the
yeah,
interview. Yeah, 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 yeah. Like he's really dope. He's really dope.
yeah. Let me walk through some of these tracks because they were just so
Yeah,
dope.
definitely.
I thought the intro, yeah, what a way to open an album. The beat was really hard, and it had you at the end talking about "I am." It set the tone for the album. There was a sample at the end. The guy was talking about a girl that you are chosen to be the messenger of hope. So I'm like, oh
Oh
man, it's
yeah.
like it's like the intro to the movie getting ready to start.
Yeah.
So really cool. Spy buttons on social networks, exert envious efforts, and good. It
Yeah.
was a good like little teaser. I thought like a good promo and start. So I thought the entrance into the album, like okay, here we go, roller coaster
That was
time.
definitely, yeah, that intro was definitely a poem that I turned into a rhyme. So it was kind of
Yeah,
like it was it was challenging to like make it rhyme because it wasn't a rhyming poem. So I had to like switch the words around and make it rhyme.
yeah, it
So
worked.
it was,
It
yeah,
worked.
but yeah, it worked. It was gritty and yeah,
Yeah,
that,
where was the vocal sample at the end? Like, is that? I don't think it was you, right? Like the one talking, or was that?
yeah,
It
that
was.
was me.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude, it
yeah.
sounded like a freaking movie, man.
No, that was me. I think I believe Q. Yeah, I think Q or ID, one of them, like I was just like I I I kind of like freestyled the part, but I didn't want it to
Oh,
sound like me.
yeah, yeah,
So
because
I
you
was
like you
just
were
like,
talking, so I didn't think it was you. Dope.
yeah, so I was just like, yeah, can you just change it? I kept a lot of like the freestyle stuff. Like if I'm talking on the album or at the end of the song, yeah, I kind of
Yeah.
just kept it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay.
at one point, yeah. So we had some funny moments on there. I guess we'll get
Yeah.
some of the stuff that I said. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, it was
At the
great.
end of the records, the talking parts was like it was weird,
Yeah.
but
Hey, good job on setting the tone, and then
thank you, thank you.
we jumped into Daddy's Girl, which we talked about already. Great song that your cousin featured
Yes.
on. And then there's a skit after that, At First Sight, which it talks about nothing can survive the shadows. And so
Yeah.
again, were all the skits, was that your vocals again?
Nah,
Or okay,
that skit was, I don't even remember where I had that on my drive. And I'm
okay,
not sure why I had that, but I remember
yeah,
I was skipping through DJ Insight who produced a few of the joints.
yep,
I was skipping through his folder and somehow that sound bite was in there. And I think I asked him, and he was just like, "That's not my soundbite. I'm not sure what it is." And I was just like, "You
it's dope.
serious?" And I was just like, "Yeah, because I need this." I was just like, "This is perfect,"
Yeah,
and it worked out that way. Honestly, I'm not even sure where I got that soundbite. I just used it. I
yeah.
just
I,
felt
I
like it
thought
was
it
right.
went with the team. I'm sorry, the
Yeah,
theme of the album.
yeah. I just
Yeah,
felt like it was good.
Yeah,
I
I
was just
thought all
like,
the skits that you chose for the album were really good and fitting into the storytelling and why I'm doing this. And you really have to tell me what you were thinking when you recorded or you wrote the Jane and Tarzan song. Man,
oh, yeah,
dude.
yeah, that's. I think that was one of the joints where, like, when
Oh,
I heard like the guitar on the beat the first time. I heard the strings at first,
yeah.
and honestly, I didn't even know that producer.
Okay.
Like when I heard that beat,
Okay. Who was it?
I think that was Moods, I believe.
Okay.
Let me
All right.
double check because I do not want to get that wrong. Yeah. At first sight, Jane and Tarzan. No, that was Nutcase.
Okay.
I'm
Nutcase.
glad I looked it up. Nutcase. I didn't know him personally, but he has sent me beats. And that's one of those. I received hundreds of beats in my email,
I believe it.
but that one, like that beat stood out, and I was just like, oh wow. Soon as I heard the strings, uh it reminded me of a Jane and Tarzan being in the concrete jungle, and you know what I'm saying? And I was just like, it automatically reminded me of that.
Yeah.
And I needed that. I needed that because it was detrimental to the story, uh because it was just like, you already got the perspective of the young lady, and she meets this man, and this is the correlation of that. Like, this
Yeah.
is one of those relationships that shouldn't be, but it is. It just
Yeah.
happens. And it happens, there's sometimes that, you have a turbulent relationship, but they end up producing a child that, you know what I'm saying, it just needs to happen that way. Sometimes that relationship is for a reason. So it's like kind of like when people say, bad things happen for good reasons.
Yeah.
And these two people hooked up and they shouldn't have been together, but it was for the purpose to breed this child. And without this child, there wouldn't be an album. So, you know what I mean? So it
Yeah.
was just
I mean, the
that whole
chorus was
thing.
chorus was dope. Jane and
Yeah,
Tarzan sitting in the tree, Kissing, Smoking. It's a love story, a drug story.
yeah, yeah.
I thought it was very clever, and you had this one line. I was like, man, ain't no stitching in the heart gonna stop the bleed. And so,
Oh
yeah, I
yeah.
just knew that, right? Like you said, it was a relationship that probably wasn't healthy, but it had to be to produce something
Yeah.
beautiful. So, yeah, just it's the reality of it. And
Yeah, and those
oh,
were poems as well. Those were like
man,
that was actually one poem, not two verses. It was one whole poem that I had that,
okay.
you know what I mean? It wasn't called Jane and Tarzan. I think it was called like
Oh,
Concrete Jungle or something like that.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was just like I switched it to Jane and Tarzan, but
Yeah, that sounds better. Yeah.
yeah.
So the jungle,
Yeah.
Jane and Tarzan, it was good. I was, yeah, some of
Yeah.
these songs I hear, I'm like, oh, so good, man.
Yeah, yeah. I've only like, yeah, and I remember like part of the inspiration for that was like, when I was creating the album, I was thinking of I had this whole idea. I didn't materialize it, but I had this whole idea that I wanted to make this a theater album
Yeah.
where I could like rent out a theater and perform
Oh,
this whole album with a setting.
I
You
can
know what I'm
see that.
saying? With a
I can see
set and
that.
stuff like that. And when we did Gin and Tarzan, and I got to perform it live once, I think, where
Yeah.
I actually had the guitars come up and be like doom doom
I
boom
mean,
boom boom, so
you got the resource. I mean, I know you helped out Halix when she did the, her videos
yeah,
and
yeah.
recorded those awesome, like, those are also like top production
Yeah,
videos.
yeah. So it was
So
just like I remember when Halix was doing that album, I was telling her that I was just like, "Yo, this would be a great like live show," and she was on the same wavelength. You know what I mean? She was like,
yeah,
"That's what I want," you know.
yeah, yeah.
But that's what
Oh,
I had in mind with the album. I was thinking,
yeah.
have to. the artwork for the that we did for the album to have the set like be sketched out that way. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
Half sketch, half photo type of thing. So yeah. So Jane and Tarzan like kind of like depicted that. You know what I'm saying? It was just like this could be a really dope set, and it was just a tragic. Kind of tragic song, at the end, but
it
it
hits.
bumps. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it
yeah. I
bumps.
mean, a lot like that set the tone for a couple other songs. So even after that, the song "The Best," which I
Oh
felt like
yeah.
was that a song to your son or
Yeah,
okay,
it was a song to my son, but it was like, I kind of made it into, it was Tarzan's son. This is the son that they produced.
yeah, that's
And
what I thought.
he already knows, the dad knows that he's not going to stay around.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But it doesn't mean
Yeah.
that he doesn't love his son. It's
No.
it's it's almost like the story of it's almost like the story of the Buddha. You know what I'm saying? It's like, he had a son and he left.
Yeah.
He left his son, you know what I'm saying, to
Yep.
lead his religious life. And I was just like, that happens sometimes where, it doesn't necessarily mean that the person doesn't love their child, but they abandon them. You know what I mean? For
Yep.
whatever reason it is, whether they're addicted or they feel like the child would be better off. Sometimes people give up their children for those types of reasons. Maybe they'll be better off without me. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And I wanted to depict that, and I kind of like wrote that, from my perspective because I love my son. I'm very involved in my son's life, and that's how I felt about my son. I still
Yeah.
do. So,
Yeah.
so, but like, yeah,
Beautiful
and
tribute.
at the end of that song, it's just like I'm leaving. I'll be back. I'm going to get some milk and cigarettes.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right.
I did that like at Q's, and man, we were dying for like a half hour. He was
Yeah,
just
yeah, because
like,
it was kind of like funny after going so
he
deep
was
into it.
calling me, yeah. He was like, I'll be back. And Q was calling me and leaving that message on my thing. He was just like, leave some milk and cigarettes. Click. It's like, for
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
because it was
that,
like the hook was like, it was like you said, it was like, I love you, I love you, I love you. Then yeah, I'll be back.
yeah, he never
Yeah.
come back.
Yeah.
So it's just like, and that was
Yeah.
kind of like freestyle at the end. Like I didn't write that out that way. I just wanted to just like it
Do
just
something
came out when I recorded
spontaneous.
it. Yeah, I did it spontaneously and I was just
Yeah.
like, and he was just like, yeah, you should keep that. And I was
Yeah.
just like, it's a little harsh, but whatever, man.
Yeah. No, it was
It
good.
it
And you had,
fits.
I mean, the hook had this one line that I really liked was the my son, you gonna shine like one.
Yeah,
Really
yeah,
cool.
yeah. And that's
Yeah.
like paying homage to like, you know what I mean? Like, old school people, like, like that's just something that people used to say.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that was a good
You
hook.
know what I'm
And then
saying?
the
Yo,
advice, yeah, at the
you know,
end, don't let them.
sound like the sun, you know what I mean? But
Yeah, that's true.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
it
yeah, I
was a good
mean,
song. Yeah,
it was a good song.
love it.
It made me call my son after, like, like I wanted I was just like, yeah, let me call my son.
Yeah, I mean, it was really deep. You're my flesh, my blood, my son. You're gonna shine like one. Don't let them
Yeah,
tell you that you can't see it through. Trust no one. You got the worlds in your hands. It was really cool.
yeah.
Whew,
So
man, I love it. Yeah, and so yeah, just the album is really Again, it was like deep in the story, and I love how you told me that you kind of saw it as something you could produce into some sort of show, right? That you perform live on like kind of Broadway like. And I was
yeah,
like,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I could totally see it.
I
Yeah, and
always
so
wanted to do that, you know what I mean? So yeah, but yeah, it didn't turn out that way, but it did turn out that way because
the
it just
blueprint's
didn't,
there.
and you know what I mean? Yeah, I did the album, and the thing about like, and I think a lot of artists do this, like once they're done, they're like they move on. It's just
Yeah,
like, all right, like you know what I mean. You can't
oh for
contain us,
sure.
so it's just like, like your episodes. And once you there, you got you all to the next episode. It's like, all right, let's go.
Yeah.
So
Hey, and then I start to see the album kind of climax with Mommy's Sunshine, and we talked about earlier. I was the
yeah,
one like it was kind of like tough love. and yeah,
Yeah.
it takes a different spin on the story that you mentioned. And we talked about that
Yeah.
one already too, how the lyrics, were hey, it's right in
Yeah,
your
yeah, yeah.
face. And so
She
then
starts picking at him
yep,
because he reminds her of this guy from the last song. It's like, this guy's a piece of crap.
yeah,
Gonna be just like him. So
yeah. So I thought, and I didn't think it was weird at all. I just thought it was like different chapters of the story, different stages of life. And so, yep, I thought it was
yeah.
another great storytelling song. And then you jump into Mr. Sunshine, which again, this is
Oh
the
yeah.
character that you referenced to to it being you metaphorically. Mr. Sunshine is the
Yeah.
king of the park. This one I felt like you were telling as if he was a vet that returns home. I'm trying to keep warm and wait out the storm. My shoes torn, I am
Yeah.
willing. I'm peaceful and calm. My lungs ain't right since Desert Storm. Night terrors off and on, which now, as we
Yeah.
talk about it, I'm like, dude, it's like, yeah,
Yeah. So it's
it's
kind of like,
revealing of you. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, and he now he's homeless. So and
yeah,
this guy, this, and now I start going into like, so you have this couple that produced this child, and Mr. Sunshine is the child grown up, and Mr. Sunshine kind of gives you the reasons. Now I start to like kind of describe that he's not all like here. He may
right,
seem a little off, mentally off.
right,
And because I haven't even
hey,
gotten into like the whole like, the way Mr. Sunshine is seen or anything from his perspective. So Mr. Sunshine is where it comes to like, all right, this is the product. This is
yeah,
who he is, and he's a little out there. So there's no telling where the album's gonna go after this. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
I didn't even know. I was just like, this is he. So,
yeah,
and I mean Q. I mean that was all cute. It was just like, yeah, this is perfect. Like soon as he played, I know that song. I know that sample from back in the day, and it just had to be that.
yeah.
It couldn't have been anything else, and Q was with it. So
No, I love it,
yeah,
man.
and yeah, he did a great job on that track. Actually, he made it bang that way. So I was just like,
Yeah.
all right, that's dope.
Yeah, and as a listener, it just means much more to me now that I know it is, a personal side of you or has a deeper meaning. You talk about that the dream log that you had. And
Yeah.
it just all fits into place, man. I appreciate the story even more.
Yeah. And I
Yeah,
got to show love for, I got to like show light, and I made that character like in the dream sequences. He wasn't that character, that person in that dream was never that, but I felt like I needed to shed light on.
yeah,
I inserted that you know what I'm saying? I inserted that part of his story into it
yeah,
because it's a part of reality. I just feel like a lot of our vets, not just us, but vets in general all over the
sure,
world, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
they get forgotten. So
yeah,
this guy, he's homeless and it just so happened to be a vet. He served. He shouldn't
yeah,
be living like this. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
he should have help. So
yeah,
I
yeah. I
definitely wanted
felt
to
it.
shed light on that. So everything was for a reason, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
it was, I wanted to touch that. Like, and
dude.
that sunshine video, again, it was a
Yeah.
vulnerable
Oh, that one
moment
too.
because because the Mr. Sunshine, we did a video for that. It was the first video I ever filmed on my own with,
Oh
what I
man.
mean, with my homie Dirty. And Dirty, I mentioned Dirty in the last interview. He's one of my boys, like that's family. And
Yeah,
again, Dirty got it. He was
yeah.
just like, we'll film it. Like we've never even filmed the video. We just did it. I
Oh, that's
was
cool.
like, all right, whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I just was the scenes were on point. The color scheme, the
yeah,
hues were just it went with the tone. And so what a great
yeah.
yeah, great
And it was
video.
my brother played a big part in that.
That's
You
right.
know what I mean? Because he played.
Yeah, yeah. I remember you telling me
shout,
that.
shout out to June, 50 cigarettes. So,
Man.
but yeah, Mr.
Who did
Sunshine was an
who
important part of
edited
that
the
album.
video? Did you edit the video too, or your boy did?
It was both of us. He
Okay.
did. I mean, my boy Dirty did the grit of it. Like he was just learning as he went along. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
We didn't know.
that's
We look at the
crazy.
video now.
Yeah,
We look at the video now and we're like, I mean, he's way more advanced in his own
yeah,
career now. He's done tons of videos now. So like,
yeah,
but we look at the video now and we're just like, we laugh to ourselves like, wow, we come a long way.
yeah.
Just
But you
learning
know
how
what?
to do, video edits and
That's a
stuff.
great point though. As I talked to you about this album, there were a lot of first times for you. I'm gonna do this
Mhm.
first time solo. I'm gonna make this video for the first time. And you just taught me and reinforced the idea of just go out and do it, right? And just see what happens,
Yeah.
right? And like amazing things will come out of it. A lot of people that are afraid to even try. And so I
Yeah.
applaud you and just thank you for surfacing that lesson. Just get out there, do it, make dope
Yeah.
stuff, man. And so
I
no,
yeah, I still have the storyboards. It was the first storyboard I ever drew. I sketched all the like I had like
that is sick.
pages of like stupid sketches. They look horrible, but I mean
Yeah.
I wrote the scenes, I drew the
Uh-huh.
scenes.
Man.
Yeah, so it was just like a first time.
Y'all need to
I learned a lot.
Y'all need to put that in the museum, man. That was really cool. Super cool hip hop history.
Man,
But you
fun
jump
times.
into Feet of the Morning, and that was one of the only I mean, a couple features, but some of the key features. Ill Bill from Nonfiction, and so another hip hop staple. But how did that collab happen? Are you friends with him, or did someone know him and just connected you for the track? How
I
did that
mean,
collaboration go down?
yeah, we go back. Me and but we go Arsonist nonfiction. I mean,
Yep,
we did 14 years of rap. You know what I'm saying? Like,
man.
we've been in the same scene for a long time, and we have
Yeah,
mutual respect for each other. I
awesome.
originally had two verses to that song,
Okay.
and the first version didn't have Ill Bill on it. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? But I was looking for one more feature, and
Okay.
I did go looking somewhere else before I went looking for Ill Bill, which is crazy because Ill Bill should have been the first one I thought of.
Yeah.
But I didn't want it to be an Arsonist member for this one.
Yeah.
And I asked like another person and they turned me down, I think. And I was just like, I think that's just meant to be because I wasn't as tight with that person.
Yeah.
Um,
This was
but Ill
great.
Bill, as soon as he turned me, I was just like, why didn't I ask Ill Bill? You know what I'm saying? And I asked Ill Bill, and he's just like, no question. He
Dude.
didn't even he didn't have us hesitate. And I think this track was perfect for feature because
Yeah.
this track is not so interconnected into the story, but
Yeah.
more of a perspective, one of the perspectives of Mr. Sunshine, how his mind works, he's a little mental. So I was
Yeah.
like, I know that Ill Bill's gonna, when Ill Bill writes a verse, he's gonna like, one thing I study Ill Bill and I know that he sticks like certain ideologies inside his verses. He always, if you listen to his verses, there's certain like different perspectives of certain ideologies that he
Yeah.
goes in his verses. And I was just like, this should work for this track. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, and he
Sure.
did that because some of this stuff, some of the stuff that he's saying in it is like wild. So I was just like, all
Yeah.
right. So the only thing I had to like really like organize was like which verse of mine I was gonna let go. And
Okay.
I think I let the verse that I let go off of that was like it was way too woven into the concept of the album.
Sure.
It was, yeah, so I was just like, I don't think this track needs this. I think it needs more of this like chaos. And I think Ill Bill kind of like um he kind of like, he gets that like in his verse it's just chaotic. There's a lot that he's saying in a short amount of time, and I kind
Yeah.
of wanted that, like somebody's mind racing, and he laced it. I was glad that he
Yeah.
came at it with that flow, and then I'm glad that he was saying so much in a short amount of time. And
Yeah.
that's stuff I pay attention to. Like, you can have a short verse, but you can say a lot in it, or you can have
Yeah.
a short verse and say a little in it. And he said a lot in that short verse, and I was just
Yeah.
like, I love it. I was just like, great. I
Dude,
was
and
like,
he just it's brilliant too. It's like again the breakdown as we go through the breakdown of the album. You build up Mr. Sunshine. You talk about the family aspect, and then you go into him potentially being a veteran, and so he's not mentally all there. And then you go into this just like a different side of him, right? Like we have
Yeah,
a side that's like that, energetic and just kind
yeah,
of I don't want to say crazy, but just just a different personality of Mr. Sunshine. And so
yeah.
yeah,
He's a little. It's a chaos, and then
yeah,
and Feet of the Morning. I just think
yeah,
is it. I chose Feet of the Morning because a lot of times, when I was suffering from anxiety and stuff, that was the time of day where it would be the worst because as soon as you wake up, you start, the
it all
world is
comes back.
just, yeah. So
Yeah,
that's another reason why it's called Feet of the Morning.
yeah.
And it was perfect as a first verse. I had to switch it around because my verse was first and then we switched it. I was just like, I think his verse should be first and his mind is racing as soon as he wakes up. So he's just, I thought
No,
I
good,
was just,
good song. And then we go into which is the favorite, my favorite song on the album, "Blood of Jise."
Yeah,
I thought
yeah, a
that
lot
was
of people
great.
like that one.
That was my joint. I thought for the album, just the sip the blood of Jise, break bread, flesh of flesh. We don't die, we multiply, conquer, convert. My enemies exploit my words, all in together now. And so again, I told you earlier on that when I heard Passion of Jise, I thought immediately of Passion of Christ, and then I thought it kind of tied up. To me, this was like the climax of the album, and so
Yeah.
yeah, can you talk to me about this album? Why you think a lot of people like it, and what this song meant to you, and how it came together?
Yeah, that song is one of the most poetic ones on the album, and it was also one of the I tied the title of the album into this song, um, because it was like, I'm gonna be honest, it was a paper that I wrote in college, and I always tell my wife this. I wrote a paper in college because I went to Christian college, and I wrote this paper
Mm.
um from the perspective, perspective of Christ, of Jesus,
Ah,
as a normal person in a modern day world. You know what I'm
okay.
saying?
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, yeah. So it was just like, what if Christ is just walking amongst us and, he kind of like, he was just observing. You know what I'm saying? So, I based this song off of a lot of like concepts
Yeah,
from that paper. So in this song, I kind of like touch a lot of like biblical analogies, you know what I'm saying? Little undertones from
okay,
different perspectives sometimes. And I felt like it kind of like it was the most descriptive of the album title. You
okay.
know what I mean? This
Yeah.
song. And it's no, and honestly, this is one of the songs that a lot of people were just like, oh, I like this one. This one is like
It
it. You know what I'm
for me.
saying? It was just like, yeah. So a lot of people will be like, oh yeah. And it's also it's more of my original style on this song as well. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is like, like Q would call me, he used to call me the human thesaurus.
Oh
And this
wow.
is this, this kind of like culminates to that, like, that origin. So I got to play with this song and just kind of like still be Jise One and still keep to the concept of the album. So it's kind of like one of my favorites as well. And it was one of the easiest ones to record as well. You know what I mean? It was just like really like breezy. It was just like not a lot of takes. It was
Yeah,
just like, this is in the pocket. It was one of those in the pocket joints that,
yeah,
yeah, that I love it. I love this song. Like I
yeah.
love to like, yeah. I read it recently too, like the lyrics, and I was just like, wow, I don't know where this came from, but I was saying some wild stuff and
Yeah, we definitely amaze ourselves sometimes, but that's not. I mean, that wasn't uncommon. I mean, you got top shelf, right? And so just
you know,
I'm not surprised, but yeah, one of my favorite songs for sure. So
nah, I really like that joint too. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I always like kind of smile when I hear that one because of the college paper,
Yeah.
because they gave me an F on that paper.
Oh,
So like
hell no. For real?
so I when I
F
listen
for
to this when
fantastic.
I when I listen to the song, I'm like, all right, whatever.
Yeah. Folks get it wrong all the time.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah. So
yeah, and so again, just the album is a great roller coaster into the mind of Mr. Sunshine. We go into another feature that you had on there by Freestyle.
yes, my
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. Can you tell me a little bit about Freestyle?
Freestyle, I was like, I need another arsonist on the album. And then I was just like, I I have, you know what I mean? Like Freestyle is one of those dudes that I've never lost contact with. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's been living in France, overseas for mad long
Yeah.
now. So, I wanted freestyle. Like I did this song without a feature first. I did
Okay.
a longer verse, and I thought of freestyle because I like freestyle because he gets to the point. He's very cut, you know what I mean, cut to the point kind of guy. You know what I'm saying? He's not sticking a lot of syllables in his verses,
Yeah.
and I kind of got that with low key towards the beginning of the album.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So I wanted someone else, and I wanted another Arsonist member to shine on
Yeah.
one of my releases, and I think freestyle was the best choice. You know what I mean? I had like, on the Chronicles, I had freestyle Q, I had Destroy, you know what I'm saying? Like, but
Yeah.
for this one, since it was limited, I chose freestyle. I just thought that he was perfect for this, and he did not disappoint on the track. I heard his voice, his tone on the beat, and I think this one was produced by Dras
Yeah.
and Mastermind. So Dras was like, he DJ'd for us like when he was our DJ when we were like came down to the three-member Arsonists.
Okay.
So he was our tour DJ or whatever, and I kept in contact with him, and I've been working with him, and I started working with him and my cousin Low Key. We did a project on the side, and
Cool.
he played me that beat, and I was just like, and I immediately knew I wanted to do a video
Oh
for it.
man.
So yeah. So me and Kenneth, the guy who worked on the artwork, we shot the video ourselves as well. So that
Oh
was my second
yeah.
attempt at shooting the video. So, and I shot, if you look at the video of Freestyles, if you look at the video of Freestyles verse, he has like, he's high up in the, you know what I mean? And in the background, you see apartment buildings
Okay.
and stuff like that. And that's on
Oh.
Halix's, that's on her fire escape in the city.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Oh man, I love the background.
I asked if I could use her house to
Uh-huh.
shoot a video. She wasn't there, but I ended up using her fire escape. So, so, so I made freestyle climb out there. He was mad scared because the fire escape didn't look stable. You know what I mean? It just looked like the screws are loose. So he
Oh
was just like, "Yo,
shoot.
we got to do this quick."
Get it. And were
And
you
we were like
filming?
this close. We were like this close to each other. It was like,
Were y'all filming the video? Was it with an iPhone or what were you using to film?
nah, that was
Actual camera?
I think I filmed that with a Canon T3i, I think.
Okay.
I filmed that one.
Man,
Yeah,
I just
his
seen
shots at least.
I've seen folks do some amazing things with the iPhone, but yeah, it was great. Holy cow.
Oh
But
yeah. I've shot full videos with my Android, honestly. Like
wow.
for like yeah. I've shot like videos for Napoleon the Legend. I did like a video for him on my phone.
Oh damn.
Yeah. I'll send you the links. It's
Yeah, I'd love to
crazy.
see
Like,
that.
yeah. And
Oh hey.
Halix's son is in that video.
Oh,
We're
super
talking about
cool.
Halix. Yeah. He's like the character in the video. I'll send it to
Ah,
you.
yeah, please do.
But
Yeah.
that freestyle version when we filmed it, we was like so close on a little fire escape, and it was just like that's why he just like looks like he's just staying in place. He's not moving
You
around.
didn't
He's
have any
just
space to
yeah.
move. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But Kenneth
Oh
really
man.
outdid himself with that video. Like at the like my favorite sequence of that video is towards the end after the verses, all that footage that
Yeah.
he put together. So he took both of our footage, like we took a bunch of footage. I got the guy dancing, you know what I'm saying, in the street. It was
Yeah.
so random. It was just like I was walking by and caught that, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, but it worked out, you know. It,
Yeah, I
it
love
worked out.
the behind the scenes. So that this is the part that I really enjoy is the story
Yeah,
behind the songs.
yeah,
And then we jump into Light of Day, which I like because it reminds me, the hook reminds me of the Slick Rick one. Da-da-da-da.
yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that
That's
was
what I
cool.
was shooting for, and that was like
Ah,
a cue track as well. And
dude.
I wanted a fast paced track because
Yeah.
I needed like I already did the one with Ill Bill, but I needed a
Yeah.
fast pace, and this track as well. When I did the lyrics,
Wow.
also it was also descriptive of the album title. So there's a lot of
Yeah.
references in that. You know what I'm saying? As far as like
Great, great
light,
lines.
eternal light, and you know what I'm saying, and
Yeah.
the end of the tunnel and the perspective of life and death in it. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I actually like that track.
That
Yeah,
was a good one.
It was fast.
No, no, it was good. I mean, the lines too. Every step is a ripple in the butterfly effect. Dissect the moment history resets itself. Hit pressure
Yeah.
below the belt. If your world's cold, don't worry. The ice will melt through time. And then later on, you say, how much space does it take to change the light bulb to make light of the day?
Yeah.
Damn,
Yeah.
damn.
And Q did the background vocals for that too. He jumped in. He was
Like
like, yo, hold up.
these are the times that I like hate and love you at the same time. Just like, dang, why did I think of that? And
Yeah.
just being a genius when it comes to writing, man. So, man,
No,
fantastic
yeah.
song. That was another dope song, man.
Yeah, yeah. I haven't listened to that in a long time, man. I'm gonna back to that.
Yeah, that was great. And we get as we get close to the end of the album, just again, like you weren't slowing down. You do the song "Hope for the Future," and again, just funny how time flies. We
Yeah.
clip wings before we push it
Ah,
over the
yeah.
edge and still try. I was like, damn, time is still playing tug of war with both hands tied. I was like, man, I quit.
Yeah.
I just
Hope for the
love good.
Future
I
is
just
one of
love
my
good writing.
favorites.
Good writing is dope.
I love Hope for the Future, man. That song
Yeah,
that was like one of my favorites, and it was actually
yeah,
one of the first songs that I wrote for the
yeah,
album.
yeah.
So I just didn't know where it would fit at. It was one of the
I,
last placements. It was one of my last placements of the album. I didn't know where that one was gonna go.
yeah,
But I figured towards the end, saying hope for the future, and then, you know, I was already planning to tone it down after
yeah,
fall. You know what
yeah.
I mean? So
Yeah.
yeah, I stuck that in there to start toning it down a little bit because of the beat. It was a little bit more laid back. So yeah, I kind of wanted to finish it off, and but the last, the last, honestly, I didn't have a last track until like
Uh-huh.
the last day. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the last track was really like a throwing like a last minute. Like I wrote it on the spot. It wasn't even like it was a poem. It was a poem. The last record on the album was a
Oh, the
poem,
end.
and
You talking about the
yeah,
end?
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. And I didn't really change it much.
Yeah.
It just so happened that it rhymed a bit. You know what I
Yep.
mean? It rhymed a bit, but I didn't really mess with that poem too much. I
Oh,
left the poem as is. So,
it
you
was a
know,
good closer. The
it,
the news reporter
it,
talking about Mr. Sunshine, and that's where at
yeah,
the end
yeah,
I
and
was
that's
like,
low key. That's
oh,
low key Velez, my cousin.
oh,
He's the
okay.
news reporter.
See that? So y'all y'all
Yeah,
y'all threw me off then because it was you earlier, but
yeah.
it was great. It was great. And so that's where I was like, man,
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask him who Mr. Sunshine is because I was like, who is he talking about? Because you built this whole story, and again, I just love that it ties in with your life, and as you mentioned, just goes back to all the dreams that you had written down in your journal, and so
Yeah, yeah.
it was good, man. I definitely felt like I went through a cinema or chapters of a different book or a playwright Broadway, and so
I'm
really
glad.
really
I'm
well
glad.
done album, man.
Thank you, thank you. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah,
And you know, and that was just the end of it. You know, it's just something
yeah,
that that was like I'm very like police brutality, and
yeah.
you
That's
never
right.
know. You know, it could be a vet, somebody who served our country and just misunderstood, and
Yeah,
things happen, and that was the end. And
yeah,
I didn't feel like there was any sequels to the story, so I made it the end. There's
yeah,
nothing after this. There's no Passion of Jise 2. It's, you know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
It's just that's just is.
Yeah. You got it. What a great album. Again, just thank you for walking through the entire album with me. I value the stories and all the behind the scene things that went on in putting this project together. I think best put as a semi biography that you put
Yeah.
together, and through a collection of the dream journals that you put together from back in the day. Again, just a fantastic storytelling album, and just um, another piece of evidence that Jise One is versatile in his ability to rap. So we got the boom-bap Jise, and we got just the introspective, deep, and make you get in all your feels, man, type of Jise. And so just man, just again,
uh,
top shelf MC, a legend in the game, and just everything you've done, important contributions to hip hop. So thank you so much. I appreciate
nah,
you.
I appreciate it. I'm grateful that you gave it a listen. That's what I shot for.
Yeah. Well,
So
hey, you know, I always love to close the interview out with just some lighthearted questions. So I'm gonna hit you with a couple ones before we close out.
yeah,
All
yeah,
right,
definitely.
let's do it. Well, hey, what is a song that when it comes on makes you happy? It's just a song that puts you in a good mood no matter what, or one that you put on because you want to feel good.
Um, that's a good question. There's one. Oh, you know what? I think it's a Jamiroquai song or something,
Oh,
man.
okay. All right.
I
That's
don't
cool.
even think it's a. Yeah, I just can't think of the name of it. Oh, Corner of the Earth.
Okay.
But
I don't know
yeah,
if I know that. I
Corner.
gotta check it out. That's
Yeah,
a good
yeah,
one,
just
huh?
check it out. Hey,
Yeah.
Jamiroquai, Corner of the Earth, and yeah, I put that on because it kind of like reflects my personality, or like I'm a hiker. Like when I'm out in the forest, that's what I think about.
All right. I
So when
love
you
it.
hear it, you're probably gonna laugh about it. But yeah, it's Corner of the Earth.
All right. Good. All right. Well, what is a random fact about you that people don't know?
Oh yeah, like a random fact that people don't know. I'm quiet.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm quiet. I'm a quiet dude. Yeah,
All right.
I'm that dude. That's probably why people don't see me. I'll go to a show and I'll stay in the corner. I'll just watch, and I'm
Yeah.
not, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
I
blind.
guess.
So if I see people, I'm not saying what's up because I'm blind. I'm probably can't see you. So,
Yeah. No, I can see that because then they hear you on the verse and they're like, high energy, and you would think that you
yeah,
would have a yeah, just an extrovert type of personality. So no, interesting. Sure.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
All right. Hey, what was your first job?
Ooh, first job. I think it was just sweeping up the park.
Okay.
It
All
was
right.
yeah, it was a summer youth program job. I worked for a multi-service center in East New York,
Uh-huh.
and when I got the job, I thought I was gonna be doing like office work and stuff, and they handed us rakes and brooms
There
and
you go.
took us to the parks, and we had to like pick crap up,
Yeah.
leaves, you know what I mean? So yeah, disappointment, but
No, but well, this is when you were middle school, high school, or even
yeah, I
younger.
was like maybe like 13, 14,
Oh
maybe
yeah, yeah.
13. Yeah. That
That
was my
yeah.
first official job where I got a
That's right.
check. Yeah, I
Ah,
got a
okay.
check for.
It was
A
like
paycheck,
when
yeah.
minimum wage was like $4, huh?
Yeah,
Probably
yeah,
something
yeah.
crazy.
But yeah, if it was like the first job, I was always working because we would
Yeah,
shovel snow for people for cash. You know what I
yeah,
mean? When I
sure.
was super, super young, I would do
Yeah,
that.
cutting
So
grass. That's what I used to do. That.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Or like when it snowed, I was like happy because I was just like, I get the shovels, And
yeah. Stack
so
chips. That's fun. Okay. Hey, how do you like your eggs cooked and why?
oh, eggs. Eggs, I'm all around guy, yo. Like, like I like them scrambled.
Okay.
But it's a good question. Because I'm a kitchen guy, so like
Okay.
lately, like I love scrambled eggs, but I've been learning the different ways to cook scrambled eggs now.
Okay.
Like I usually it just
Yeah.
looked like a omelet cut into pieces, but now
Okay.
I've learned to like make it smooth
All
and
right.
like creamy scrambled eggs. That's a whole new thing for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now like yeah, I love scrambled eggs. I understand the concept of them now.
I love it, man. I think I'm in my like omelet phase right now, but yeah, ain't nothing wrong with like a scramble with just like all the good stuff in it for sure.
Yeah, yeah,
All right, I'm gonna take you back real quick on this last question right here. Who is
yeah.
Jise One's favorite? I guess not really, but who is Jise One's favorite Disney character and why?
A Disney character? Never had a favorite Disney character.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I was more of a Sesame Street Muppets guy. You
Oh,
know what I
okay,
mean?
cool.
The Muppet Show. You know
All
what I
right.
mean? Like I was a Jim Henson guy.
Who's your favorite
Yeah.
Muppet then?
Oh man, it would be
There's a lot of
Animal.
good. Oh yeah, that's a
It'd
good
be
one.
Animal, and of course,
Wilding
like
out, drumming.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. And there was always I
that's a
forgot
good
their
one.
names, but it was always like the jazz player.
Oh
I don't
yeah,
know his name, but he always wore the shades. He always wore
yeah.
the big shades with the hat, with the
Oh
like
yeah,
bucket hat. But
yeah,
yeah, but most of the time it was Animal because of the drums. I love the
yeah.
drums. So
Man, I used to watch that cartoon back in the day, Muppet Babies. I don't know if you ever heard
yeah, yeah, yeah,
that.
Muppet Babies. I remember all of that, man. Yeah, I was more of a that and
Yeah.
Tom and Jerry guy. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Tom and Jerry was very violent.
Oh
You know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
But I loved it though.
Yeah, Tom and Jerry was dope for sure. Well, good, man. Well, hey, man, that was fun, man. Always an amazing time, fun time talking to you about music or just anything in general, man. I appreciate you.
Definitely, man.
So again, I thank you for your time. But now I would like to give the floor back to you so you can close this interview. Any final words before we end this amazing session?
Yes. Live long and prosper.
Good.
Live long and prosper and listen to music and
Oh yeah.
listen to lyrics and read lyrics, man. That's lost these days. You know what I'm
Hell
saying?
yeah.
Like, people are so like into like the sound and the beats that like they're not listening to what people are saying. It's subconsciously getting into people's heads. So it could be a really incredible beat or production or a musical piece, but what they're saying is subconsciously intoxicating you. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like there's a lot of trash being said, there's a lot of things being laughed at, and everything's taken as a joke. And I just think people need to gain that certain like start critically thinking again. And
Yeah.
you know what I mean? We're
Ooh, good
really
point.
dumbing down.
Good
So you
point.
know what I mean? Yeah, start thinking again. Start like questioning things again. Don't, you know what I mean? Don't accept anything that's just thrown at you because it sounds good. Those things are all impermanent. Don't get
Yeah.
attached to what sounds good, what feels good. You know what I'm saying? Don't get attached to what feels bad or your pain either. Try to find equilibrium.
Yeah.
You know, a balance between those things. Yeah,
I love it.
that's what I would leave people with.
I love it, man. Well, hey, a scholar, a gentleman. I appreciate your time. Ladies and
All
gentlemen,
right,
Jise,
man.
Jise One, the man.
All right, dude.